No. Uh-oh. Oh, I dropped the needle. A very sharp, scary, dangerous needle with all of the notches cut into it. Sorry, we're listening to music. I am listening to music. You all can't hear it. 'Cause I don't want to get my ass in trouble. So as I'm sitting up here, feel free to pop on whatever music you enjoy listening to. And sorry. And fire that up in the background. Okay, so last time out we were working on our clouds and stuff. Well, we had gotten to the bottom. We got our first layer done, basically. And this week we will start to work on our next layer. What color is that supposed to be? Actually, we might be on the clouds this week. I don't think we really have all that much further to go. I think we're on this dark color. One of those dark colors. I kind of want to do another layer of this. So I think we might. As my pad is all kinds of crooked. Alright. It's because my camera's on an angle, so to make it look straight on the camera, I have to tilt it for me. Sorry, I've not been up that long. Really haven't. I'm actually up way sooner than I wanted to be, if we're going to be perfectly honest. If we're going to be honest with ourselves, up way, way sooner than I really wanted. Because husband was having a hard time sleeping, so he ended up coming back in here, and I fell asleep before he did, I guess, and he was having trouble falling asleep still, and when I woke up he was missing, but his computer was running, and I was like, well, his computer's always running, but there was a game up on it, and I was like, oh, he'll probably be back in a few minutes. And when I woke up, I was like, it's kind of warm. And I had had a heavy, fuzzy fleece blanket on top of the comforter, because it was so cold when we went to bed. Meow. What's up, little? She has been all kinds of needy. Where are you? Where are you, child? Where'd you go? You meowed at me, but I can't see you. Where are you? What did you do? Just meow and leave? I guess so. Alright. She has food. I made sure of that before we got started. There is water. There you are. Hi. What's up? Meow. What's the matter? Did you need cuddles for a second? Did you need all of the cat cuddles? I don't suppose you'll jump up here on your own, will you? Excuse this moment of kitty break. Come here. What's up? Come here. Come here. Oh, chubby kitty. Oh, chubby kitty. What's up, chubby kitty? Oh, mommy's making a mess. What's up? Hi. What's up, friend? What's the matter? Yes, we're working on things. It's art day. It's art day, my fuzzy friend. Yes, it is art day. What you doing? You smelling things? I guess we should at least, kind of get you on camera. Hi. What's up? Are you a happy cat? All of a sudden, in the past couple of days, she's like, I need attention, attention me. Hi. What's up? Are you happy? Did you just need cuddles constantly now? Do you not have any place to lay? Normally your nap time. Yes, mommy's trying to work. Are you ready to get down now? Huh? No, that's not a cubby for kitties. That's a cubby for the copious amounts of crap that mommy has. Alright, you ready to go? Oh, okay. This is a thing. Right. We have a cat on the lap. Hi. Oh dear. Oh dear. Hi. Are you staying? This is not gonna work if you're staying. I can tell you that much right now. Well, let's bring this down a little bit lower so that we can try to get a little bit more done in here. Just wanted this to be a little bit thicker. Alright, well you stay there while mom's works, okay? How about that? I think I've been chosen, you guys. Maybe because the husband's not in here, but I feel like I've been chosen. Zoe would do this to me all of the time. Are you Zoe Jr.? I know, I keep shaking my lap, but you want it up here. You want it up here, my friend. And we're trying to work. We have internet people to talk to. And to try to do art for. Yes, we do. Just no sudden movements, okay? I think you're just really that bored. Yeah, I do. That's us on the internet. Yeah. You are internet famous now, little. Yes. Our little rescue cat. Oh, are you getting down now? Okay. Well, be careful. Bye. She's like, I don't want to be internet famous. I'm out of here. Or she heard Russell get up. Either one is quite possible. But that's okay. That makes this a lot easier for us to do. And my totally gross shirt that I wear. Well, one of the gross shirts that I wear when I do art. So if I get anything on them, it doesn't matter. I mean, although we're doing wool today, so it's not like paint or anything. Not real paint. Not destructive paint. This is just wool fibers. This can be picked off. But I have a multitude of white shirts from Russell. Well, that used to be white that he doesn't wear anymore. That have been artified. You know, the grungy shirts that nobody likes to speak of, that are in your closet, that you save for times where you're either out of clothes because you still need to do laundry, or that you wear when you're cleaning or doing messy stuff, so you don't have to sacrifice a good shirt. We all have them, whether you want to admit it or not. Alright, well, now that the cat's out of the way, we can get back to ow, what's that? I feel like something stabbed me. Alright, I think we'll just put a couple more lines in on this color just to darken this up a little bit. This is still a little thin in spots, but we're going to be coming back in with another color on top of it. But like in here, I still feel like we're a little thin. But that could just be me. I have started work on another one off stream that's been a little bit more tedious. Well, maybe not tedious. It's been a lot slower. And that one is of a lighthouse off of a beach or on an island or something. That one is over here. And I haven't gotten very far. I'm still working on the bottom section, but this is taking like all week. But that's another one that I am working on. So we are just all over the place with all of the things that we are working on. I'm still trying to sort out the new emote pins for the Etsy shop. I was gonna try to do them in clay because I was like, oh, well, I can paint those. No problem. And they're done. But Russell was like, oh, they're gonna be flimsy. Because some of the stuff I was working on that was thin, he's like, they're gonna bend. And I'm like thinking, well, I think that's really because of the thickness. If I make them a bit thicker, they shouldn't bend. And, what is this? I don't know. I don't know what you are. Get. Almost looks like an eggshell. Don't know what that was. Anyhow. But, I tried on the shrink plastic again, and I did them in colored pencil this time, the demo. Because I just wanted to see how that was gonna play out. And I don't hate it, but it's a little see-through, and I feel like you're gonna see the pin back. So I don't know if I like that. I did miss putting the white on them though. So I feel like if well, maybe not. You can't really see. I mean, you can see the shadow kind of, but I don't know. I'm still toying with the idea of doing them in the clay. And I might use that as my template for the clay. I don't know. I'm so undecided about some things. It's terrible. I mean, part of me would like to at least try to do a couple. But I guess I really only need to do one. Like, I want to use this clay before its shelf life vanishes on me. Meow, what's up? Kitty's back. What is up, my child? I literally have nothing for you. I'm not eating anything right now. I've got nothing. I haven't even eaten yet. I was gonna, because my stomach was kind of growling, but couldn't really find anything that looked or felt appealing. And I was perusing the kitchen before we got started, so I just grabbed a drink instead. But yeah, she's been... Last night she actually sat in my lap for like almost 10-15 minutes, and she's not really a lap cat, or at least she hasn't been up to now. She's been very much kitten bitey McBite face. She still likes to bite. She still does love bites. But depending on the mood she's in, she'll either start out gentle and slowly get harder to see how hard she can bite you before you get mad at her. Or she's just all teeth and claws. My mom gets mad at me. She's like, "You can pet her?" I'm like, "Yeah." Every time I try to bite her, she swipes at me. I'm like, "Don't know what you want from me." She is her own cat. My mom gets mad that I can pick her up. I'm like, "You don't really want to. She's fucking heavy." What are you doing? That's my wool. Let's not play in the box of wool, okay? I don't remember how much that wool was. But I think if we continue to do this, roving is so expensive for me right now. Like, the actual large amounts of roving, that I've seen some people say that you can do this with yarn, and I'm like, you know what? You probably could. You could probably take the yarn and unravel it. And I'm like, oh, you know what? You could probably put it through a dog comb. Like the undercoat combs. To get it unraveled and get it fluffy. And get it back into like the state. Alright. Except now we look a little bit stripey, so I guess we're gonna have to do a little bit more. That's a little thick. And I'm super stingy, so it takes me a little bit longer because I'm like, oh, I don't know if we really need that much. Alright. That, and I really don't want to run out of the colors that we're using on this. So I'm thinking of trying to recreate or follow a different Bob Ross tutorial that we haven't done yet with wool. Maybe we'll pick a season. I don't know if I have that much wool though. I don't know if I have enough wool to get through that many seasons, because this is about the size of a mini canvas. This is 4x4 roughly, the inner square. It would have to be one that doesn't have a whole lot of white in it, because I don't have any extra white. At least I don't think I do. I do have a little bit of cash. I could go to Walmart and pick up some skeins of yarn in like the Bob Ross heavy colors, like a dark green, some of our greens, and some whites. I mean, we could do that. I did pull out a couple extra dollars from Christmas money to put away. We each got $50 from my parents, in addition to what they gave us for Christmas. So we each took $20 out of it to hold for stuff that we wanted to get outside of Christmas gifts, and the rest went into our fund to try to get to the zoo again. Don't know when that's gonna happen though. Probably not till like March or something. Sorry, we've got some island party music going today. You guys can't hear it, but I can. That is our music of choice here today. Okay. It got so cold last night. Winter came back with a vengeance. I think before I shut down my computer, the temperature was saying 14 with a wind chill of 1 for our area. And it had been saying snow showers on the one news station's weather. And I'm like, no? Because like it wasn't, the radar wasn't even over wasn't even showing it over us. And I'm like, I don't think so. Maybe I'm part of the town, but not over us. And I had messaged Russell because he was in the other room. He goes, I don't see anything. He goes, but I don't know if this is snow or ice on my window. So I was kind of like, meh, let it go. And then Little was wanting me to follow her everywhere and just being extra needy. So I had gotten up and I was dealing with her and I was trying to get ready for bed, and I looked outside and I was like, son of a bitch, it's snowing. Would you look at that? Just trying to make sure that's anchored. I wasn't so sure. Alright, so I mean, we still have some stripies in here, but don't know how much of that we're gonna get in there. Maybe we can get a little bit in there. I mean, I do have a little bit of overhang over here. That'll get tucked back in when we're done. Alright. So, let's get this worked in here. Alright, so how's everybody doing on this chilly Sunday here? Didn't snow a lot. There's just like a light dusting in the grass. It's still there though, but when I checked the temperature when I got up, the wind chill was 8, so it's gotten a little warmer. Not quite as bitterly cold as it was earlier. So that's something. But it was still below freezing. Sorry, I lost where the end of our fluff was. So I'm just kind of moving it around with my finger and seeing where it's loose. And retacking it in those places. Alright, so how are we looking on the camera? Alright, so we still have a little bit of stripey stripe up in here. Alright. Oh, why do I have a message? Oh, husband messaged me. And then he went back to sleep, I guess. For I haven't seen him. Alright. Alright, let's lay this one in up here, I think. And I'm sure you're really probably supposed to use bigger chunks. But this is how I'm doing it as I'm getting my feet under me. And I still am enjoying it. kind of chilling out with the crunchy noise. As it were. Alright, where else do we want to... Oh, I've got Discord up. That shouldn't be up. There we go. Conversation the husband and I were having ongoing. What were we even talking about? Oh, he was telling me that he grabbed the Asian animal pack for a zoo because it was on sale for $5. And he asked me to shut the zoo down for him because he had to go to the bathroom, and then he was suddenly exhausted and he just like fell over. And I guess he went back to sleep. So he messaged me about 20 minutes ago. So that was him that I heard. Oh, hold on. Don't know if a piece of fluff in my eye. I'm covered in cat hair now. Little is quite the sheddy creature. I was trying to teach her what one of our cat brushes or animal brushes was. I was like, oh look, see? Doesn't that feel good? Get all that icky loose hair off. And then she started attacking it and attacking me trying to use it on her. And I was like, okay, we're done. She just wanted pets. She didn't want this scary thing with the stuff on it. And then she wanted to rub against my hand that was trying to use the comb instead of the comb. And I was like, okay. Not really a comb, it's more like a flat, spiky thing. It was like $1 that we picked up at Walmart. It was nothing all of that complex. In fact, I think I might get one of those to do the fluffy stuff with. Okay, so now to figure out our clouds here. This was our light stuff, yeah. Okay, I just want to, why does it feel like something is poking me in the eye? I'm like touching all over my eye, I'm not finding it. What is this craziness? What are you? Why? I don't see anything on my glasses either. My eye is just being frumpy, I guess. So we just need a little bit more on this, I think. Oh my goodness, I had a Momo last night. Like, holy shit, I had a Momo last night. I was like, what is this? Zuzu was being weird because Russell was in bed. Hey, don't be chewing the plastic bags, please. And little girl. Could we not? And so because he was in bed, Zuzu was like, nah. He couldn't find a spot. He wanted to be in between us. Russell's like, no. And the way I was laying, there wasn't a whole lot of room for him to be in between us. I would have had to have faced a different way. And Momo had gotten up to go to the bathroom on his puppy pad, or to stretch, or something. I heard him get up. And Zuzu, like, immediately bolted to get off the bed. To get in the dog bed. And I'm like, no, that's Momo's spot. Hey, stop that. And, he hopped in the dog bed before Momo got back. And I'm like, Zuzu, come here. And I saw a head peek up from the bottom of the bed. Because that's where the dog bed is. It's at the base of the bed. And the base of the end of the bed. And I saw a head peek up. And I was like, you better come here. And Russell's like, oh, leave him be. They cuddle sometimes. And I'm like, yeah, but Momo's usually already in the bed and has his spot and he's settled. And he's not this time. Zuzu jumped in before he had the chance to resettle. And he's like, oh, Momo got up. I was like, yeah. So, next thing I know, I see a doggo try to jump on the bed and kind of miss, but just like they didn't have enough oomph. Because the bed's kind of high off the floor. And I was like, oh, Pupper. And the next thing I know, Pupper makes it onto the bed, comes scurrying up along my leg, and I have a nose in my face over the edge of the blanket, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, holy shit, it's Momo. And he was up on the bed. And he was so excited and so proud of himself. He's like, hi, lady. I'm here. The other doggo is in my bed. And I was like, hi, buddy. And Russell had gotten up to get Zuzu out of the dog bed. And Momo popped up. Hi, lady. Mead. Smelled my nose. Licked the end of my nose. And then scurried off to the end of the bed again and hopped into his dog bed, or drug himself into his dog bed. They always scare me with how they get off the bed into the dog bed. They like put their front feet down in and then they just kind of drag their back legs off the edge of the bed, and I'm like, oh buddy, please be careful. But he was so proud of himself. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is a banner Momo day. Because when we ended stream yesterday, my parents were getting us dinner. I'm not sure why, but they did. And I was like, okay. Like, I have something out of the freezer to eat. But alright. And I'd gotten tater tots from Sonic, and I was like, here, Momo. So I gave him one, and came over and sat down because he hasn't been getting up out of his bed to go beg for food. He's like, no, I'm gonna stay here. So I was like, okay. So I gave him a little bite, and I usually wait till I'm done eating. But he looked so sad because his brother had gone off to my parents' room to beg, and that's usually where he goes to beg for food. So I gave him a little tiny snackoid to hold him till I was done eating, because I was going to save something for him anyway. And next thing I know, I hear tap, 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 tap of nails on the floor, because their nails are way too long, but we can't just cut them to the length they need to be because of the quick in their nails. It's a slow process. And I looked down, and there's a Momo nose touching my leg, and I was like, hi. I was like, this is a thing. And so he ended up getting like a third of my dinner. Because I was just so excited that I had a Momo. get up and come looking for a snack. And so as I'm sharing it with him, he's like biting my fingers, and I'm like, dude, those are my fingers. Easy. But that was exciting. So we definitely wanted to reward that behavior, because he's been like terrified ever since he got hurt to be out of his bed for like more than 2 minutes. So I was like, oh no, we're gonna reward the getting up. Like, he gets up to potty, and sometimes at night he'll get up and walk around. But we think he's afraid of us. We think he thinks we hurt him, and we most certainly did not. But he's just a terrified bundle of nerves, because like he'll get up and walk around when we go to bed. But he is such a muffin sometimes, and I'm just like, Mama, you're okay. It's gonna be okay, buddy. Oh, yay for the finger protector, as I just stabbed myself. Oh god, I had been so good about not hitting my finger with the damn needle that the other night I took off. I was doing it without the little leather doodles. And I was like, oh, I don't need them on. I'm good. I'm keeping my fingers out of the way. I stabbed myself. It didn't go very far into my finger, so that was good. But I was like, really? I don't hardly hit myself at all with the stupid thingies on. I take them off, and then within, 5 minutes, I've dinged myself. Good job. Oh goodness, my dad is watching football, so I apologize if you hear yelling faintly in the background. I can just hear it. I don't know if my microphone's picking it up. But apparently quiet in this house doesn't happen. Between the traffic and the animals and the parents and the in-law, quiet doesn't happen. In-law's not here right now though. In-law won't be here for a while, so alright, how do we want to do this? Let me look at my bigger picture here. Okay, so are these all the same shade? Because I feel like just barely off by a shade. It's so subtle. Alright, because I noticed something that we didn't do previously. Alright, I'm just oh, this is more of like a bluish gray than a purple, huh? In the bag it looked kind of like dark periwinkle. You two behave. Well, on top of that it looks kind of purple. Alright, we forgot to put in our horizon line. Let's see how terribly crooked this is gonna be. Because, I mean, I can't even make a straight line with a ruler. So this will probably be comical. Am I still in frame? Kinda. We might have to do a second pass on that. Also helps if I can hit the section that we are working on. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, we'll probably have to add a little bit more to that just to get that a little bit more visible, I think. I mean, how visible are we? Actually, we're a little high there, but that's okay. We probably should have had our water be a little bit thicker. That's my fault. But at the same time, it's our art piece. It doesn't have to completely match. Any reference photo? Speaking of Momo, I hear him refluffing. Refluffing the floof. For the floofy puppy. Okay. As I'm hitting every spot but the sections that I need to. Yes, as the fingers with the guards on them, I'm holding up off of the thing. That's gonna work, isn't it? Okay. Let's just beef up this section in here. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pick a Bob Ross season. And figure out what colors dominate his palette for that season. And then maybe we'll try to do that. Alright, so that vehicle does not sound healthy. Okay. So I am just gonna kinda, do I wanna make a pinwheel? I don't know if we can. We can try. Maybe not like a pinwheel that you blow on pinwheel, but alright, so this kinda hangs out on top of our yellow area. Kinda, sorta. Okay. We snip that edge off. And just kind of make sure its little tail's tucked in. Okay. I've seen some people like have a wet paper towel nearby just to get their fingers damp to try to manipulate this a little bit. I don't know if that's really, I mean, it might help. I don't think you have to. Okay, so grab a little bit more. And we'll start to get this kind of rolled out. I mean, I do have a little bit of water. Okay. Just like the slightest bit. Like your fingers shouldn't be like wet, just damp. I think it helps keep the little flyaways from flying away. Alright, so we do have, oh goodness. Friend, what are you doing? Ah, everything's falling. Okay. So we've got a little bit of cloud kind of jutting across in here. Just a little bit. Not a whole lot. Just kind of one of those like little fingery guys. Let's get him all tapped into there. Now, how thick? I mean, he's a little bit thicker. On this end. Kind of starts to fill in a bit. Not too far. There I go, getting my finger again, so yay. Yay for finger protection. Alright, and it kinda carries up a little bit further here. I can get this in right. Without layering up too many times on the seam section. I mean, I could, it's just, you know, I don't need to. Come on. I mean, it's not like it would be a terrible thing. Okay, and then we've got a little tiny floof kinda and that completely undid what we were trying to do. Let me just snip it ahead of time. Probably be easier to deal with. A little guy up here. You alright?
Yeah.
What's up?
Nothing. Just checking in.
Okay. Yeah, no, I woke up and I'm like, why is it so hot in here? Like, I thought it was me because I get that level of hot when I have that fluffy blanket on. And I ripped it off. And I tried to fall back asleep. And I'm like, it's still fucking hot in here. Why? And I couldn't hear the space heater running over the fan.
Sorry.
And I'm like, and then I realized that you had been gone for a while. And I was like, And then after I actually sat up, I'm like, did he forget and leave the space heater on? And not only was it was on high. And I was like, God damn.
Yeah, like I said, last night, when I finally dropped, it just coughed me at once, and I just left.
What time did you leave? Because your last message was at like 8. 8:30, something like that.
I couldn't tell you. I didn't even check my phone.
Oh, okay. So was your last message right before you went to sleep?
Yes.
Okay, you didn't sleep that long then.
Yeah, I know. But nothing I can do about that. At least I got something. Oh, shit.
Alright, so we've got our darker color here. Alright, we're gonna have a little bit of pink filtering in. Alright, now I'm just kind of turning it in around itself, kind of like our snail shells or our flower shape from our tissue paper art, just to kind of get like a fluffy cottony ball feel here. You can be in zoo, that's fine. Oh, he's not even in here. Okay. I'm talking to myself. Well, I'm talking to you guys. But you guys don't care, so. What is that? Alright. Let's grab another section here. I'm doing thinner strands. Mostly because we're kind of rolling them up on themselves and we have a small piece, so. And we don't need to go too wild and crazy with the thicknesses here. It is a little bit harder to work with this stuff with these finger guys on, though. I will say that, but they are important for finger protection and finger safety, especially if you are doing like the 3D animals and felting the little figurines. because you really don't want to stab yourself, because it's gonna hurt. Trust me. Still want to use a little bit of caution when using the sharp objects. Because, I mean, if you don't have these on and you're not fully here in the moment and watching what you're doing, or if you have a slow reaction to pain happening, it's very possible that you could get that thing like halfway through your finger before you'd realize it, or all the way through. You don't want that. That would not be happy at all. Oh. Taking the felt with us. So that's not what we wanted to do either, but Needle was like, okay, come with us. Let's go. Okay. So we're getting there. We're starting to get our clouds in the bottom here. I mean, you don't have to go as thin as I am. If you have the cash to have the extra roving, hey, you make them as thick as you want. Who am I to tell you what to do? I do need to figure out how far to the side we're gonna take this guy. Oh. So we can figure that part out. And if we need to add some other colors kind of weaving through there, we will. I think maybe we'll half that again. And I'm just going to kind of roll it up a little bit between my fingers. I might need to put a little bit of pressure on there to at least get it anchored. Like with one of the protected fingers, just kind of hold it down. Alright. I think we'll start to bring this guy. Oh, there we go again, stabbing that finger. To bring this guy up a little bit. somebody just driving by with their hand on the horn. I always get nervous when I hear cars doing silly things out there, because it's like, what are you doing? We've had enough accidents out here where I'm like, should I be concerned? I mean, we had that near miss with the dump truck, so ever since then, if it sounds like a car is doing something silly out there, it's like, should we be ducking for cover? Don't know. Alright. Alright, start to anchor this guy in place. And like I said, you don't have to do these small little snippets. You could probably just do one big one and just kind of fuss with it to get it into position that you want it in. But I kind of like doing these smaller little tufts, I guess, you could call them, because I feel like I can get the more fluffy feel of some cloud action here. Alright, seeing where my edge is. Like, it's amazing how much that color really comes out when you lay these strands on top of each other. And how they start to really make each other pop a bit. That strand is a little bit bigger than I was expecting. So these scissors aren't the greatest that I have, but they didn't like cutting other stuff. Because I like to cut with the tip. And the tip, there's a gap on it for some reason. But I found that it kinda works with this. So these are gonna be my floof scissors. These are from Singer. I guess they're like sewing craft scissors. I like my Friskers ones better. So I'll probably use the other ones for the majority of the stuff. I mean, those guys were expensive, but I mean, I've had them for quite some time. So they were definitely worth the money. Just the sticker shock at first. Was a little tough. Okay, let's get another section of our purple here peeled off. I mean, we probably could have gone a little bit thinner. I'm just kind of rolling this into like a snake. Kind of just rolling and pushing outward. Okay. Alright, where are we on our photo? I mean, we've kind of gone off the photo a little bit by now, but that's okay. And you can kind of see where like the cottony ball feels kind of coming in. Or at least I can. I might not be zoomed in enough for you guys to see it. Alright. Hi, kitty. Not sure which cat that was. I saw a tail in the corner of my vision. I will say it's definitely hard to type with these guys on. But you're definitely not supposed to be typing with them on. You're supposed to be crafting. Okay. So this will be, you know, kind of your call as to how you want to do your cloud guys. And then, you know, it's going to have a small mind of its own if you let it. And just kind of stab it all together. And see, when you turn it over, you can see where the fibers are being shoved through the felt. So that's kind of fun. Just to see how it's all anchoring to the back. Okay, so we'll get this worked in here. Just checking to make sure that the wax melter didn't need new wax. So if you get your fingers a little too wet, it just sticks to you. Okay. Kind of looks like a weird ass gremlin coming in there in that cloud. I know my edge line is in here somewhere. Somewhere. Alright. So, I mean, it's a pretty good chunky section of the darker. Well, now that I'm looking at it, maybe it should have been this color. That's alright. We can get some of that worked in. Not a big problem. So we can add some of this on top. That should be fine. Alrighty. So yeah, now we just kind of get to play a little bit in here. Get these guys kind of worked in here. So how's everybody's Sunday going? It does not feel like Sunday to me at all. I guess because we streamed yesterday when I don't normally. It just doesn't feel like Sunday. It feels Monday-ish to me, which is weird. You alright?
Mm-hmm.
You can be in zoo, it's fine.
Oh no, I know you're doing it. That's not. I went and got some food.
Okay.
I'm trying to wake up.
So maybe this guy will put in here. And we'll get that tapped in. I didn't know what the name of it was when I went to save it. So I just saved it as the thing that popped up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which was that career mode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know if this was a zoo you were building or what you were doing.
No, I was working on career mode.
Because I'm like sitting there looking at it. I'm like, I don't necessarily recognize this zoo. So decided to get the Asian animals, huh? And he stopped listening to me. You decided to get the Asian animals, huh?
Huh?
You decided to get the Asian animals?
Yeah. Because I was falling over and stupid. And I said, oh, it's under $5. But it was under $5.
Well, that's better than it could have been, so. What was that, part of the winter sales?
Yeah.
So was that a new career scenario, or?
That is. I'm starting to go through the old ones.
Oh, okay. Trying to unlock all the statues and
Yep.
shit.
For some reason, I want to unlock the statues, so I am.
That's okay. It means I don't have to later. Because I think we're on the same copy.
Yeah. I'm using your library's version. That's exactly why I use your library's version, because I don't want to buy all that shit again.
Oh, goodness. Okay, let's get this guy. Worked in there. Do 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 do. There's something about Harry Belafonte that just makes you want to dance. Do 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 do. Everybody. All right. So let's see here. So we work on getting all of this in here. Okay. See, the sun's come out. It was flurrying again before I got started. I was like, oh really? We didn't even have any kind of winter weather statement last night, which was funny because earlier in the week they had done a special weather statement saying how cold it was going to get, and then they took it away, and there'd been a thing about potential light icing or a potential wintry mix, and then it vanished, and I was like, we're not getting that now. Is it still not gonna get that cold? Like, what's happening? Did you all change your mind? And then it said a snow shower, and I was like, what? What is this? It's like, oh, winter. D came back with a vengeance, or showed up fashionably late. However you want to view it as. Okay. So did I use all of that? Okay, I think we used all of that color that we pulled off. I am going to grab a little bit of the dark. Well, not really dark, but I want to grab a little bit of this shade. Stick you up there. You're a little bit different. I'm going to split that again. Alright, just kind of trying to get all the little extra fuzzes in check there. Oh, my wrist just cracked. That's not good. Alright, so kind of want to maybe tap you into there. Like, I might hate this, but we'll see. kind of give the clouds another little oomph of shading in here. It doesn't have to be super large amount. Ah, scissors. Sometimes those scissors cut good and sometimes they don't. Alright, so maybe we'll take this up along this edge here. Just kind of work that guy in. Alright, I still want to get some more of this purple in there, the darker purple, the more periwinkle purple, shall we say. This feels more of like a mauve purple, mauve pink. To me, but they don't have colors on the bags, so I mean, I guess it's bad enough they came in all these tiny little plastic bags, but at least we can reuse the bags. And we will be. I think there's no reason not to. Not really. As long as they still function. We might as well use them until they are falling apart. Right? Okay. We will get this little band of color worked into there. What are you? Little bit of fuzz that refused to cooperate is what you are. I'm just kind of trying to move this around to where I want it to be before we really get it anchored in there. Okay, grab our other strand that we had pulled off of here. Get this guy all sneakied up here. Okay, let's see, where do we want you to go? Maybe in just kind of grabbing a little bit of the fiber and just kind of pulling it down to where I want it before I stab it through. Just kind of spread out our stuff there. Alright, I'm thinking maybe we need like one more in there. Doesn't have to be a big piece. Just to kind of make it not feel quite so all by itself. Alright, and maybe a little section in there. Just kind of had to anchor part of it first before we could really get going with that spot. Alright, so maybe in here. Okay, that section got a little unruly there, so there we go. We'll get that piece in there. Okay. Now, I'm kind of not going off of our photo anymore. I mean, I kind of am, but at the same time, kind of started doing our own little cloudy guys here. Because why not? Why not? Our art piece. We might as well. Besides, clouds can pick up all kinds of multitudes of colors in the strangest places. And it's fun because it kind of adds to their layered look a bit. To see where the needle's gonna shove it in. Alright, so I think we need a little bit more of our darker color here. Okay, just a little bit. So I do want to get some more poofstas. Oh, it's because of the caps lock. Sorry, Mrs. Rock Guru. Moobot does not like the caps. It's fine, Mrs. Rock Guru. Hope it didn't time you out. Hope you are doing well. Moobot's being silly. As Moobot often is. It should be allowed. I don't think it timed you out. It's not telling me it did, so. Hopefully it didn't. If it did, I'll have to go back in and try to figure out where that setting is. Because quite honestly, I didn't even remember enabling that setting. Unless that was auto-enabled. Which is entirely possible. So I hope you are doing okay. Hope everybody's doing okay. On this chilly, chilly Sunday afternoon. Well, for me it's afternoon. And still Sunday. It might be Monday wherever you guys are. So, for my WoW Challenges community friends, if there are any of you here, I know Mrs. Darker was one of them, how are you going with your challengers? I am slogging through. I got 2 done. Well, done. I got 2 ready for Wednesday's stream last night. And I started to work on my monk, but she's such a large undertaking at the moment because of her level. I got 2 bars in and I was like, I'm done for today. Like, I don't want to do this anymore today. I'm done. 2 characters today is enough. Let go. Let go there, friend. But, you know, we're doing alright. Haven't lost anybody yet. Which is a good thing. Especially for me. I gotta stop rolling it on there because it's picking up the green. And it's being silly about it. Alright, so we've got some pink I want to drag down into there. So I guess you can come hang out up here. A lot more decision making with this. It's like, oh, where am I going to put you? I mean, it might be the same amount of decision making as paint, but I don't know. I feel more a little more pressure. It's like, oh, where are we gonna put this? It's a little bit harder to rip this one out if I don't like where I placed it. Paint, I can just, paint over it, but it's all good. It's all good. Alright, so let's anchor that one there. I might leave a little of that showing through. I don't know how much though. I have to see here. Have to see what strikes our fancy. So we are moving along. This is not a very quick activity, but you know what? That's fine. I kind of like that it's a bit slower. It kind of forces you to slow down, or at least I do it slowly. Let me rephrase that. Other people might be a lot faster at it. But I like to take my time, see what I'm doing, kind of take a step back for a second, make sure I'm not focusing on any one area and ignoring another too much. All right. Let's trim this guy down again. Okay. So what do you guys do for hobbies or just to chill? What's your thing? Painting, meditating, playing video games. Knitting or crochet. What else? It could be maybe your thing is paint by number. Maybe a bubble bath with some candles, safely lit, of course, not near any towels or anything. With the lights all turned down, just relax and chill. Don't chill too much in the bathtub though. You don't want to fall asleep. I don't recommend that. that's dangerous. Alright, so I have some calypso music playing. You guys can't hear it. I have it in my ears because it's all copywritten stuff. And I don't want to deal with the DMC gods, because that's a fight I'm not going to win. So don't forget to fire up whatever music you enjoy listening to. And kind of chill out, and we'll do some things together here. Key West is my happy place, so if I could be there all of the time, I would be. But that's not possible. Not right now. Not with the current state of things, so it will be my favorite vacation place. But we don't have a vacation on the horizon. A, with everything going on, probably not a good idea. And B, no funds. So who the hell knows when we'll be on vacation again? Probably not for another... oh gosh. Probably won't be able to go on a vacation for another 2 years. Because we've got some things that we have to be adults about and take care of. So realistically, probably be about that long. So in the meantime, we'll just have to settle for a day trip to the zoo. And that'll be okay. I mean, it's no Key West, but... actually, our next planned hypothetical that might not happen trip. We have a list that we've started of places we want to go see and things we want to go do. So, we would like to go see... we would like to go back to SeaWorld. I've never been to Busch Gardens. So that's kind of on our list. I'd like to go see the Clearwater Aquarium in Tampa. I'd like to go see the aquarium in Atlanta. And I hear they also have a zoo that's not too far from the aquarium, I believe. So I think that would be fun. There's a couple of zoos in Texas that aren't too far of a drive from us that I'd like to go see. I think there's 2 in the Dallas Fort Worth area that people have told me about, that I was kind of looking online. The Oklahoma City Zoo would probably be fun too. That's not too far of a drive. I mean, Oklahoma City, we would probably end up staying the night, though. Because that is a long drive. It's a long drive after being out of the car and traipsing around someplace all day. In, like, that respect. Because Tulsa's about 2.5 hours from us. So the Tulsa Zoo is a long day. But we can do that as a day trip. So we don't have to worry about the parentals being unattended for that long, because they're okay that long without anybody here. But any longer than that, we would have to have the mother-in-law come back and stay to keep an eye on my parents, because she's younger than them, just to make sure everybody's okay, because you know, we have the only vehicle that's usable. So I mean, I guess if there was like a real emergency, they could just call emergency services, but I wouldn't want to leave them for more than, you know, the majority of a day without anybody here. Plus the dogs, you know. They already get pissy when we, like, step out for 10 minutes. If we go on a walk at night, which we won't be doing tonight, that's for damn sure. Too cold, and the sidewalks are probably questionable. So, probably just better not to risk slipping and falling. So we already have the dental that we have to worry about paying for the end of the week. Oh, I'm still not happy about that, but I know, I'll shut up about it. Today is for arting. And later today is for more challenge tune leveling. I've got 2 left to get ready. I've got to get my monk, which is gonna be a multi-hour endeavor. That might take me the rest of the night by the time we get done here today. And after I get my dinner going. I feel like, yeah, my needle might be a little askew, but it could also just be the way it's sitting in the holder. But yeah, I gotta get my dinner going, and then maybe I'll start that after dinner. But that'll probably take me all night. Or I might just work on her a little bit and then switch to the Death Knight. Can only handle so much Bastion now. I've been in Bastion too much now. Alright, so we're getting there. It's a process, you know. Gotta not get water on that. It's alright, that'll dry. Where's my scissors? Alright, so this strand's a little bit thicker. So we will get this guy worked in here. Oh, I love Harry Belafonte. Listening to some of the live show recordings, it sounds like it was a fun show that he would put on. Alright. It's funny because in this one recording of that I'm listening to of Mama Look a Boo Boo, somebody in his band or one of his backup singers is getting really into the song and he just starts laughing in the middle of singing. Or maybe he's laughing at himself. I'm not sure who's doing that one part of the song, but it's just fun. It's like, oh, what happened to it? Okay. Let's see about getting that guy anchored in there. I think he is laughing at himself. It's such a silly song. Alright. So we'll keep on going here. We have to bring some more of this color in, and I want to get some pink in there too. So we also want to eventually, well, at least I do, I want to go to like SeaWorld at Christmas time and in Busch Gardens at Christmas time to see all the Christmas decorations, and they've got like a big Christmas tree show on the lake where all the trees light up, and I want to see that in person someday. Someday. And I think that would be so much fun. I just want you to anchor in one spot, please. So I can kind of get you positioned in there. So now, let's see. I'm gonna trim this guy again. And I think we'll stick you up here. Alright, so then kind of tuck in this one. So we'll probably need a little bit more of this color over on this side. I'm thinking. Just a little bit. Okay. Just dampen my fingers a little bit just to make this a little bit easier. Okay, so get a little poofed guy here. Little poofy floofy. Okay. And I want to fill in some more of this movie color. So we can probably fill in the movie color around this. Mauve, whatever the heck you want to pronounce it. I forever pronounced it mauve, and then I heard somebody say mauve, and I'm like, is it really mauve, or are you pronouncing it wrong? Who's pronouncing it right? I mean, I guess I could just Google it now and see, but... we will find out. Maybe. Eventually, if my brain remembers to. Probably won't. Because, you know, my brain does not like to always do the things. Okay, I'm just gonna do sort of a skew straight section in here. Because we're gonna have some other colors on top of that, so that's fine. That still looks like a bit of a hot mess at the moment, but that's okay. It's kinda gonna. Alright. So, our next poofy poof. I think we're gonna kind of tuck you over in here. Just kind of weave you around our periwinkle color. Just a little bit. Oh, almost got my finger. And of course, that time it probably would have cut. Because, you know, these scissors are all sorts of strange. Alright, so I kind of missed the spot where I wanted that to go a little bit. That's alright. I'll just cut another little guy. And see if we can get you in there. There we go. All right. So hope everybody's doing okay. We've started a new year. So do you guys have any goals for the next year? Like, I'm not gonna hold you to them. It doesn't have to be a resolution. Just, you know, something you'd like to try to work towards. Like to try to get some more art time in, and I really would like to get those remaining challenge classes that I have not gotten to max of the Bloodthirsty yet. I would like to get that done, but will that happen? I don't know, but that is what I would like to have happen. That we will have to see as time goes by. As to whether or not that comes to be. So if it happens, awesome. If it doesn't, well, we tried. I'm about halfway through. Ow, that was my elbow on my desk. Good job. Because the elbow had to hit the desk. It didn't make my arm go numb, so it didn't hit the funny bone part, but dang, that's probably gonna bruise. Of course it's going to. Why wouldn't it? Alright, so let's get this guy here. Get him kind of wriggled up. And where do we want you to go, friend? Thinking maybe in here. See how you feel in here. You might work. That kind of feels okay. I think we might need another little piece in there though. Just a little bit. Did I have a second? I don't know if I'm losing fibers here. Are they going missing? Or did we just not? We might not have. Okay, I don't think we separated that one out a second time. Ah! Okay. No, I don't think we did, now that I'm looking at it. Okay. Alright. So I think maybe we will try to get you down in here. And that looks pretty good right in there. Alright, now, that's gonna be like a pink. I have to go pull that one out of the bag. I think I already picked out the color for that. I just forgot we were gonna do it. So in the meantime, we will incorporate you in there. And I think we'll go another snippy snip. Set you off to the side there. And we'll start to fill this stuff in on this side. So we'll do this little guy. If I can get him, he's being unruly. I can get him rolled up here. Ah! Come on now. There we go. That looks like a good spot for you, friend. So I think we'll use up this strand and then we'll go and grab that other color that we still have to incorporate into the bottom of our clouds here. Alright, so I mean you could put whatever colors and stuff you want. I mean, this isn't gonna match the photo exactly because I don't have the exact colors and it's not like paint where I can just mix the color. I mean, if I really wanted to try to get the colors to match that hard, I could have gone with the photo to the store and try to get as close as I can supply-wise, but I don't think this is too bad with what we have to work with. Alright. Definitely want to get that pink in the bottom soon just so I can see where we're at. Color-wise on this bottom section. Not sure if I have the right shade of pink though. I mean, I might. We'll see. I have to pull it out of our supply bag. Alright. But still, I think we're making some decent progress. Probably need to fill in that bottom section with a little something something. We might do that in this mauvey color. Use the fingers that have the protectors on them, silly. I have these on my fingers and I'm like, oh, I can't use those fingers. because they feel incapacitated. Which is silly. Alright, so what shade of pink do we think it is? Alright, that's the pink that we used down there, so it's not that one. It's probably this one. Looking at what my options are remaining down there. Alright. I can't get the bag open. Half of these bags are like exploding at the seams, and this one I can't get open. Oh, yes, we have not used this one yet because it's still in its little cocoon. Alright. Sorry, I needed a drink. Okay, where are we gonna put you? Put you over there. So it looks pretty similar to our sky color when it's all pulled apart. But it won't look that way for long. Alright, let's start getting this guy worked in. Oh yes, that's nice. Just a little subtle touch of a brighter pink. I have another pink still I might add in on top of this. It's kind of like a pinky purple. So we are making that a little bit thin. I'm being watched by a doggo on the bed. Who was very upset last night that he didn't get to go to his evening place. But it was just too cold for those little doggy feet. And we weren't sure if the road was icy, so we're like, yeah, no, not tonight. And he was a very sad pupper. And kept trying to remind us, or was trying to get us to change our mind. However you want to look at it. I kind of feel like we need a little bit more over in here. That section just felt a little small, a little thin. Maybe not quite to where we wanted it to be. Okay, I think I want you to come down just a little bit more. Doesn't have to be a whole bunch, but just a little. Alright. You know what? Let me floof you. Make you a little floofy ball. And we'll kind of add you in there. Definitely need some more of that, for sure. All right. Get that guy worked in full there. And I think we might add a little bit of the lighter pink on top of that. Just to kind of see how that's gonna sit. So we'll add this shade there. And it's kind of melting in there because we don't have a whole lot of it. But that's okay. We will fix that. Oh, you know what? Let's finish taking you out along the bottom edge here. Ah yes, the crunchy sounds of needle felting. Well, when you're using the felt pad. If you're using the foam, it's going to be a lot louder and potentially a lot squeakier. But with the animals, I didn't want little bits of foam everywhere. Because the foam pads will start to break down. Because, I mean, you're jabbing a needle into it. So there's some that kind of look like an old hairbrush. Those are probably about the best to use. But the ones I was seeing were kind of small for what I was looking for. And I think they were more for like doing your little animal guys. I mean, you probably could have done this on there too, but at the same time, let go. At the same time, I was like, well, let me just get the bigger one. The bigger quiet one. And we'll go from there. And we'll see what happens. Alright, so we want just a little bit more of this, and it's fun to see how the colors kind of change and take on a slightly different shade when you get them against the other colors. So that's kind of fun. All right. I'm hoping that this next year we'll be able to have some time to do some more art things. I'm debating on trying to add a second art stream on Mondays. I don't know yet. It kind of depends on the husband, because he might be doing stuff with our friend Tyler. So if we do art on Monday, it would have to be when they've finished doing their stuff for the day. And I also don't know if his D&D game's coming back to Monday, so... because he was in a second game that was taking place on Mondays before the holiday season kicked in, so Monday was kind of out of the question unless he, unless they'd canceled or something, so I don't know yet. We'll see. That all depends. But yeah, if we do end up doing anything on Mondays, it'll probably be later. Than the time that we'd be going now. But I don't know yet. Alright. Oh, no, come back. Come back, friend.
Sorry.
Husband's having anxiety. Anxiety things. His anxiety makes him burp a lot because he clenches his stomach. And then he starts swallowing air and stuff, so... burps are gonna happen. Oh, and I need to readjust how I'm sitting. Okay. Did I grab both strands of that? Did we? I feel like I'm just losing fluff. I know I said that earlier. Alright. Some days I get up and I walk out of the room and I look down and there's like fluff attached to me. I'm like, where did you come from? I cleaned all of it up. You were not there 30 seconds ago. Or at least I didn't see it there. I walked halfway through the house with a huge wad of fluff stuck to my shirt. Got all the way to the bathroom and I saw a dark shadow out of my eye and freaked myself out. I'm like, oh god, what's on me? And then I looked down after I calmed myself and realized it was a piece of fluff. And then I felt dumb. I was like, oh, okay. It's like, that's how we're gonna do, huh? It's like, alright, we can do that. Just gonna keep adding in this darker pink on our bottom edge here. So we've got it about where we want it to be. Maybe we don't want to get too carried away in that spot because we are gonna grab some of the other stuff and kind of tap in around it. Not sure if I want, do I want this on the other side? I don't know. Actually, can I unball you? Let me take a little bit of water. Will that make you cooperate a little bit more? Not to the extent that I want you to. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. And we'll stab you in there. Probably the next best thing to getting your aggressions out while arting from, if you're not into, beating the devil out of your brush, maybe you can stab your anger into your fiber. I don't know. That was an oddly loud car. I mean, you don't want to stab too hard because then you'll break your needle, but I'm actually not sure if this thing goes all the way through the pad. I'm sure it could. Yeah, it could. So you don't want to stab too hard because then you'll break your needle. I mean, I've got a bunch of extra needles, so I'm sure it'll happen eventually. But we've got a whole bunch in different gauges. We've got some small, we've got some medium, we've got some large. I don't know what gauge this is, because this came preloaded in the handle with the set of tools I picked up. It kind of looks like it's the small gauge. But you know what? That's fine. We don't need anything too crazy here. We really don't. Okay. Just trying to stretch that out just a little bit. I was just moving that before I went all the way in to the felt. Just kind of surface picking at that a little bit. Alright, so that's not looking too bad. Let me see, where's that other? Well, that's kind of that color, isn't it? Or did we use that color? We used that color. Okay. Got so many little bags of floof everywhere. Oh yeah, we haven't used this one yet. It's still in its little... They like tie it in this little knot where they've got the tails tucked in. So in theory it'll fit in the bag. In theory. Does it always? Some of the bags were not closed. Although I don't know how fast they had to be filled, so they might have just been like, just shove it in the bag, just shove it in the bag, just shove it in the bag. Kind of deal, so. Alright, so we'll kind of, we don't need a whole lot of this particular shade. I think we just need just a touch, because it's probably not gonna jump out at you that much. Like, I'm not really expecting it to be show-stoppingly in your face. Just, you know, a little bit of a subtle pop on there. And just a little bit. Sorry, I was checking the camera. A, to make sure I was still in frame. And B, I was seeing if this shade was in fact picking up. Doesn't really look like it. Not that terribly much, but you know, that's okay. Actually, I thin you out a little bit more. Alright, I think I want you to sit in there. Got it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Like, you can put your space heater on, just if you could put it on low.
No, it's fine. It's just because I walked away from it last night and I didn't realize. Again,
Okay.
last night was shitty, so.
We might need to close that curtain. It's starting to get cold in here again. Or I'm starting to feel it more. This color just kind of vanished. Oh, I got so much darker in here with the curtain closed.
Do you need a big light on?
No. Alright. So yeah, it's kind of just melting in with the other pink, but that's okay. It might help that it's melting into it in the long run. You know? Alright. A little lumpy right there, but that's okay. It'll flatten out once I get it all trimmed up and we get it framed up and stuff, so. I feel like it needs another little guy in there. Just a little. Like right there. Still just a little bit darker. Okay. So that's pretty good in there. And I think we'll go a little bit more of the lighter color in here. I think I only grabbed a tiny piece. I don't think I don't see any other fluff hanging about, so at least little strands. We've got fluff everywhere, but as far as those are concerned, oh yeah, that's taken shape there. I might actually I mean, it would be kind of bold to do so, but I'm thinking maybe. Oh, there's fluff flying everywhere out of my box. Okay. Thinking. Is that too bold? I mean, that's kind of like a neon orange. And red just doesn't quite. I mean, it wouldn't be a miss necessarily. Yeah, no, well, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't. Ah, everything's falling now. I was thinking maybe we could add in another little color there at the bottom, but I think if we do anything, we might just add another shade of purple on that edge. It's probably about as bold as we should go. Because, I mean, as much as I would like to add a pop of, like, that reddy orange color, I think it might overpower our other colors here, because the other colors aren't as strong as that red. So that might be a little, maybe a little much. Okay, there's that, and we've got another little piece of this. And we will get that kind of tacked in there. Okay. All right. So we do need some more of this. This is our dark movie color. Definitely want to get that kind of put into here. So don't forget to follow in all of the places below. I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, where I try to get the live stream VODs archived. Plus there's, you know, a couple other projects I'm working on. I might end up doing a Minecraft video. I might record a session in Minecraft if I have time. Because husband's been wanting to play Stardew Valley a lot lately, so we haven't had much time to get back to our desert city that we're working on. I am still trying to find time to demo in there. I was doing a little bit of demo last night when I was waiting to access Steam. I didn't think I could access his Steam library if he was in mine. I thought we had tried that before, and it kicked both of us out. But I think it's just I can't access my library if he's in my library. I think that's what it is. Because we do the Steam family share. And I did try to give RimWorld another go last night in a different game without the tutorial. And I kind of had the same exact events happen that I had in the first game with the tutorial, which I thought was kind of interesting. I mean, unless it was just random that it happened around the same times as it did, but we are in the, I'm in the gentler, if there could really be one, story mode for RimWorld. Where do I want to put you? Ooh, don't break the needle. Right. I think I want to put you over here. Okay, no, I still need to do something with this mess over here because it looks funny. So we just kind of have this huge, I don't know, gap kind of thing happening over here. So let's see if we can fill that in just a little bit. At least maybe make that not quite so bizarre. We'll see what we can do there. We've got to get our Christmas tree down. We've got to get our Christmas decorations down. I have to shampoo a rug. We might turn the lights off outside and just not take them down yet. It's gonna be cold all week, and then I am probably gonna be out of commission the end of the week. So, stream schedule for this coming week. We're gonna be doing Bloodthirsty on Wednesday with WoW challenges. Thursday will either be Minecraft or Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley if the husband feels up to playing, Minecraft if he doesn't. Friday, there will be no stream. No stream this Friday. I have to go to the dentist. And possibly get this tooth removed. So I might be out of commission for a few days. I don't know if we'll be having a WoW Challenges Wednesday the following week, because the weekend is when I work on my challengers, and if I'm out of commission and unable to play, well, that ain't gonna happen. So it depends on how I'm feeling, because I'm probably gonna be barely able to sit upright. I don't know. We will see. That is all very much up in the air, but there will probably not be a... No, well, I know for sure there won't be a stream on Friday. Probably won't be an art stream next Saturday. Or next Sunday, excuse me. Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk. That's a lot of talking. So I think we'll just cancel the entirety of next weekend. And figure it out from there. So that's why I'm saying you probably want to follow on the Twitters, because I usually remember to post when I'm about to go live there, and I will try to keep you guys updated with what's going on and what days we'll probably have to cancel. If I have to cancel, I usually post there too. So the Twitter is at NiseyBGN. Okay. Feel kind of bad because we're covering up all of our pretty sunset color here, but that's okay. It'll make the other side of this pop out a bit better. Possibly. Maybe. Alright. So we won't be finishing this today. I'll see if I have time and we can try to get in another art stream tomorrow. What time is it? Well, it's not even 4 yet. I don't know if we'll be finishing today. Let me put it that way. Because we still have a bit more cloud work to go further up. And we still have to put our trees in. So, yeah, no, we still have that to go. But yes, I do eventually want to attempt to do some Bob Ross stuff in this, if possible. That's gonna be more than one episode or more than one session to probably complete a piece. More than likely. More than likely. But that is something I do want to try. Just to see how much of a hot mess that's gonna be to attempt. I mean, it might come out pretty good. won't know until we get there on that one. Okay. So, alright, I'm gonna sit right there. I don't think we're quite done with that color yet. Let's get a little bit more of our movie color. Gotta get the movie color. Alright, we're still gonna be going a little bit longer today though. I said I didn't know if we were going to be finishing today, and a bunch of people left. Sorry about that. The archive of the live stream will be up on the YouTube channel. But it usually takes a few sessions to get stuff done here. Just how it goes. I'm a little bit slower on getting stuff put together because I'm not really trying to rush. So apologies. We don't always have a finished product at the end of the session. Sometimes it takes more than one. A lot of times. Because, I mean, this is our second week on this project. Or second session. Not like we've been working on it for a full week non-stop, but... Okay, I think we'll do one more movie bubble right there. I think we'll do that. So I got all of this stuff off Amazon. I know people are like, Amazon, but that's what our options were. So price wise and all, that's what our better options were. I think try to get a little fingery guy in here. Trailing off of this cloud. So because we don't have an exact pattern that we are following, it does take a little bit longer. Because, you know, we're not just like, okay, X, Y, and Z. I mean, we do have a photo in the bottom corner, And we're kind of using that as a reference / inspirational photo for this. Okay. Let me just get a little tiny dab of water on this guy. Get him a little bit wound up here, raveled up, rolled up, however you want to refer to that as. I'm just gonna try to refelt our light area. Just make sure that's all down in there. Maybe just kind of flatten it out a little bit. Okay. And we will roll that piece out. And perhaps we will put a little tail coming down. Well, it didn't really tail, but that's okay. Alright, so looking at our photo, alright, I do 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 do. Let's see here. I'm thinking we'll grab some of this color. This like lilac-y light purple. And let's see about adding just a little touch of this in the places. Perhaps. You know, just a little bit here and there. Doesn't have to be a whole lot. Lost my scissors. There they are. That's no good. We don't want to lose the scissors. Kind of thinking maybe we just kind of touch the bottom of this in here. Maybe just a little bit. We might come back in with a little bit of our mauve, our very dark lilac. just add a little bit more darkness to that section in there. Or we could use one of the other colors, actually. A bit of that. Alright, this one little spot up here kind of looks like it wants to be a little bit lighter and brighter. It almost has like a bluish tinge to it next to the other shades. But it's not. It's this color. It's crazy. I guess because it's sitting on top of the other stuff. Would probably be my guess. Oh, I hear a Momo. Momo's on the move. We'll tap this in here. Just get a little bit of that. Put in there. And I think we'll need to go another little highlight here. Actually, let me cut that in half. Because this guy kind of is a little bit lonely up here. So we'll get him tapped in. So he's not quite so lonely. And we'll do another little floofy ball. Maybe use the covered fingers. I have to keep reminding myself. Oh, and that guy's just kind of melted into there. Alright. So, just another few strands on this one. So I keep burying my scissors. Yeah, that's not good. We need those. Okay, like I just don't want this to be just kind of sitting here. So I might add one more light floofy thingy. Probably like up in here. Because yeah, if the strands are a little too thin, they do just kind of vanish. But I also didn't want it to take over either. I mean, it is a little bit of back and forth. Alright, a little bit. So let's see. Let me see where I'm at. Let me take a moment and reevaluate. So maybe another light little poofy guy up in here. No idea what the husband is doing. Whatever he's doing, it sounds like he's in the kitchen. I was hearing some pots and pans bang around. I don't know what he has to cook, though. I didn't think he had anything that was all that elaborate. I could be mistaken, but alright, maybe another little guy. Say right in there. Yes, okay. We just need a little bit more. I think I want to take that going off the edge in there. I will say, it is getting chilly in here. I am getting cold. Like, you ever get that point in the winter where it was warm in the room you were in? Like, too warm? So, you, like, disable the source of heat for a little bit, and then you slowly start to feel the cold creep in. Like, I was starting to feel it in my toes, and then I'm starting to feel it like creeping up my legs, and I'm like, I am cold. What's the temperature? I don't know. Let's see. It is 25 currently with a feels like a 15. Didn't feel that cold in here last night when it was down to 1, but I also had the space heater running at the time, so... The one local station for news on TV that I watch seems to be a training station for their weather department. Like, they have so many weather people that are constantly coming and going. I finally get used to seeing one, and then they leave. And they go to somewhere else, and I'm like, why? Were you offered more money at another station? Or they're just, you know, rotating through that much help? I don't know. But it's so frustrating because one of the guys I really liked, I was like, oh, I like how you do weather. And then they left. I wasn't too sure about them when they first joined the station. And they had this other dude that replaced him, and I was like, I'm not feeling you. Can we have the other guy back? Like, they still have the main 1 or 2 people there, like the senior people, but it's just so odd how they keep churning through weather people. I'm like, why? Is this by design? Or, you know, are they getting fired? Or are they just taking a better job offer? Like, are they being given the chance to be the meteorologist of that weather station instead of, you know, like the third string person, or what? What is happening? I don't know. And it confuses me. And I don't like it because I get attached to someone and then they're like, poof, gone. I'm like, wait, what? Where did you go? Stop leaving, weather people, once I finally get used to your faces and how you do things. Some of them I just can't get used to, and I'm just like, that's okay, you can go. And I felt bad because I really liked the one guy. And then he just poofed. He just poofed away. I know I said I wasn't going to do a whole bunch of this color, and then we ended up doing a whole bunch of this color, but I started really feeling this color once we got it going in there, and I think it feels weird with this one little arm coming down, so I think we need to add a little bit more of this. You know, it doesn't help that this house is drafty as shit. Like, the drafts are so bad. When we were in the other room, when the room that my parents are in, when that was our bedroom, we had like a curtain across the doorway because for some reason there was no door. Like, there was a doorway and no door. We found that very odd. So we had a curtain there, and every time a car would go by, even with all of the windows and doors shut, the curtain would move every time a car would go by because of the air suction or whatever, because of how fucking drafty this house is. I'm like, wow. But it is an old house. Like, this house is so old, the windows in some of the rooms still have the ropes in the sashes for pulling the window up and down. Which is kind of concerning because I'm looking at that and I'm like, what happens with the rope dry rots? Can we not just... Do we not just open that window, or, you know, will it come crashing down on a cat that might be sitting in the window? Like, what happens? Do we need to be a little more cautious with this? Like, I don't know. I think one of the newest windows in this house is in the room that's currently our bedroom, because it's actually a tilt-in window. And I'll be damned if it took us forever to figure that shit out, because we didn't know. A car had hit this house before I moved in. Russell was here with his mom, but it was before I came down. And they had like just missed hitting the gas meter, I think, and hit the side of the house, and there was, like, the window was totally fucked and everything, so they had to replace the window for that. So that's how that window is like the newest window in this house. We are lucky that the dump truck didn't hit the house, though. That was scary. Tell you, one of the things you never expect to see is logging off from playing a challenge tune to stand up and stretch because you're like, oh, I need to go pee. I should probably log out. And so I logged out of WoW, stood up, stretched, and just as I was about to turn around to go to the bathroom, I saw half of a telephone pole go flying past the front porch. And I was like, what the fuck? And, like, I didn't hear the dump truck hit the pole. I just saw the pole go flying, and I was like, come again? Went outside. Our neighbor's mailbox had been smashed off of the pole. That was laying in our driveway. If Russell had been home from work, the mailbox would have smashed through one of the windows of the car or smashed into the side of the door. The telephone pole at the end of our driveway was splintered and in pieces. And apparently a dude driving a dump truck had hit it. He was going the opposite way. He was like on the other side of the street from us. Had somehow swerved across the street, took out the neighbor's mailbox entirely. Wooden stake and all. Hit the telephone pole, and then I guess hitting the telephone pole, they jerked the wheel back and went diagonally up the grass of the church lot next to us. Somehow, our house missed getting too much damage. However, the part of the telephone pole that broke off was the part that had all of the service lines attached to it for the cable, the phone, the electricity. The pole was smashed in half so that part of the pole was laying in the street in front of our mailbox. I think our mailbox had been popped off of its post, but I was able to smash it back down on top of it. It half ripped, like there was like a pipe on the top of our roof that all of these service lines were going into. And that was half hanging off the roof and half ripped off. We still had power at that point, which I thought was fucking hilarious. And people on the street are driving through the accident scene. Like, there's bits of telephone pole wires hanging down. And they're driving over the bits of pole and they're dragging the pole with them. And the wires are still attached to our house. And I'm like, stop driving. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do anything. I was like, yes, you can. You can stop driving through the fucking accident scene. Just stop, okay? Those wires are still attached to my house and you're causing more damage. Stop driving. And they're like, man, I'm like, no, stop. And I'm like, people, why the fuck are you still driving through an obvious accident scene? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Stop. Dudes outside of, like, cops had shown up and a couple of cops had taken off, like, through the church parking lot, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And this dude standing there in the street, I thought he was the driver of the truck. And he's like, oh, they're not live wires, they're fine, they're just utility lines. I'm like, they're attached to my house, and these trucks and vehicles driving over it are ripping them further off the house. Shut up. And I'm like, just stop talking. And, cause I was pissed off. And so dude went back across the street, and I was thinking that he was the driver. Oh no, he was not the driver. He was the brother of the driver. He owned the dump truck company, or the dump truck that his brother was driving. Come to find out, the brother was coming off of a 3-day meth bender and had fallen asleep while driving the dump truck down the road. Woke up when he hit the mailbox or the telephone pole and jerked the wheel across. He came to a rest at the corner of the church building across the street. Fortunately, it was not a daycare day because it was right at the edge of the playground. And the playground has like a little metal fence around it. But thank God there was no kids there, because that could have been so much worse. And dude's girlfriend was in... Driver dude's girlfriend was in the dump truck with him. She apparently had warrants and ran, which is why the cops ran to take off after her. We had to get an emergency roofer to come out because the electric company cut all of the lines that were coming into the house. They're like, yeah, no, you gotta get that fixed and you gotta get the roof checked. Somebody has to come out and deal with the roof problem. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And, so I think the mother-in-law... Did the mother-in-law call the insurance company on the house? I can't remember. Somehow we ended up with some roofer. And that roofer was bullshit. Wait, was it the roofer? No. Somebody. We had to have 2 people out. And I can't remember what the... No, we had to have an electrician come out and we had to have a roofer come out. The roofer was fine. It was the electricians that were bullshit. They came out and they were looking, because they had to fix stuff before the roofer could do his stuff. So they're like, oh, we need a part. We don't have it in the truck. We have to go to Lowe's. Lowe's is about a 25-minute ride from the house. And we're like, fuck. We're like, okay, because my dad had insulin in the fridge. And, they cut the power, so we're like, okay. So they went, and they're like, we'll be back in, half hour. They didn't come back for an hour. Hour and a half before they came back and fixed it. And, in fact, while they were gone, the roofer showed up and was sitting here waiting on them. And, the roofer dude was nice. Didn't care for these 2 electricians, and then they charged an exuberant amount of money, and I'm like, well, thank God we're not paying for this. We're submitting that bill to this dude's insurance. We got his insurance information. We're like, oh no, buddy, you're fucking paying for this. Because we're certainly not. And the electric guy for the utility company, he's like, okay, well, once the roofer's done, call us back once they say that you're good to go, and we'll come back and we'll reattach all the doodles for you. And we're like, okay. Roofer was finally able to finish by 3:30. We called the electric company, and the dude that had come out and cut the lines off the house, he's like, tell them it was due to an accident and they'll send somebody out. You know, because this is still part of the accident cleanup. They have to send somebody out. And I was like, okay. We called them. They're like, yeah, okay, we'll have somebody there, like, within a half an hour. We're like, all right. Half an hour comes and goes. 45 minutes comes and goes. An hour comes and goes. We call them back. We're like, yeah, is anybody coming to put our power back on? You know, there was this accident that took out the pole. And they're like, oh, yeah, they'll be there soon. You sure? Yeah. They'll be there soon. Okay. Another half an hour goes by. Hour and 45 minutes later, Russell comes home from work. Told him what happened. He gets on the phone with the electric company and he's like, what the hell? Y'all said somebody would be back out here tonight, no matter what time it was, to fix this because of the accident. And they're like, oh, yeah, we don't have anybody in the area. It's not gonna happen till morning. We're like, no! And we're like arguing with them. They're like, yeah, no, it's not gonna happen till morning. We were pissed. That was not what the utility guy told us when he was here, disconnecting all the shit off the side of the house. We lost all of the food in our fridge and freezer. Our fridge and freezer, and then we had a separate freezer that's like waist high on the floor. We lost all of our groceries. We should have submitted that bill to get reimbursed to the insurance company, and we didn't. We should have. We were stupid. Because that was over $200 worth of food that we lost. And we had to run an extension cord from our house to the neighbor's house so my dad could use his breathing machine to sleep with. And so that we could have like a fan running too. So it was a fucking thing. Okay, it was not happy. The next morning, we heard a noise outside, and we got up, and oh look, it's the electric company. And it was the same dude from the night before, or the day before, that disconnected the shit. And we're out there talking to him, and he goes, I'm fucking livid. He goes, I cannot believe that I saw that work order in the computer when I got in the truck this morning. He goes, that was bullshit. They've been known to do this before when we were supposed to be sent out. But they didn't want to pay the people extra money to come back out, because I guess it was after work hours or something. So they just popped it in the computer like, yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. Like, no, not cool. And I'm like, yeah, well, we lost all this stuff. We're not happy. And then we had to go grocery shopping. Russell had to stay home he had to go into work late till we got this fucking sorted. And I'm just like, no. They actually moved the gas meter on this house is cursed. There was another time shortly after Russell and I, got back down here together. The mother-in-law had left. I think we'd been here like a week or two. She left to go to, New Hampshire, since I guess we were here to keep an eye on the cats and whatnot. And, so we were just kind of settling in, doing things that needed to be done, unpacking, that kind of thing, and we had taken a nap, because our sleep schedule was all sorts of kafucked, because we were still half on night shift time from working at the casino, but half on day shift time from moving, and we were tired. So we tried to take a nap. And we're laying there, and we had the window open, and I'm like, why do I hear so many sirens? And you can't hear when someone knocks on the front door in the room that we were in. And there's a doorbell there on the front door, but it doesn't work. It's not attached to anything. I have no idea what it used to be attached to, but it's non-existent. So I'm like laying there and I'm like, Russell was mostly asleep and I'm like, I think I woke him up. I'm like, hey. He's like, what? I'm like, what's with all the sirens? He's like, huh? I was like, what's with all the sirens? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like laying there trying to fall back asleep and I'm like, hey, do you hear voices? He's like, what? I'm like, I swear I hear somebody talking. And he's like, no. And I'm like, yeah. And so he opens the door to our room and there's all of these people in front of our house and we're like, what the fuck's going on? There's a pickup truck running in our driveway on the one side, half sitting on top of our gas meter, and we're like, oh, what the fuck is going on? And like there's a cop and somebody else and like, we've been trying to reach you, we didn't realize you were home, you weren't answering the door. And I'm like, we were asleep. And we're like, what? They're like, yeah, we have a situation and we're evacuating all of the nearby houses. You need to leave until we get the gas situated. We have to cut the gas line, turn it off, and we need to replace your gas meter because when the meter reader pulled into the driveway when the water meter reader pulled into the driveway to read the meter, he went to back up to get out of the driveway and hit the gas line, or the gas meter. So I'm like, the truck was still running, sitting on top of the gas meter that was now leaking, and I'm like, and I'm like, well, we've got pets in the house and everything. I think we grabbed the dogs. No, we didn't have the dogs yet. We were kind of like, well, cats, it was nice knowing you. And because we couldn't round up all of them, we didn't have enough cat carriers. And what the hell were we going to do with them anyway? So we kind of went and sat in our neighbor's driveway in the one car. And we were kind of like, well, now what? And we were still half asleep and trying to figure out what the fuck had just happened. We were still processing everything. So then we were like, we're hungry. So we went to Sonic and we sat over there for a while. And then we came back and we were sitting in the driveway over there, and then they were finally done. They took them like a couple of hours. They had to replace the gas meter entirely, and then they had to relight the pilot on the furnace and then the hot water heater, and it was a whole thing. It was a whole ass thing. And then the gas company actually moved the gas meter because apparently it had almost been hit by the lady, or had been hit by the lady that had hit the side of the house. And so like, yeah, this gas meter's got a history. We're just going to move it back. And they had originally talked about putting a cage around it. Like concrete wrapped bars or something. So that didn't happen again, but they moved it behind this one planter box in the front yard, and they're like, well, we might not need to do that now because, you know, this brick thing should protect it. So we're like, if you say so. I hope it does. But that was a whole thing. That was crazy. Where are we at here? I think we maybe in here. That put in there. Where did you go, husband?
Oh, I went and made some sausage and gravy.
Okay. What pan did you use?
I used the small saucepan.
Okay.
I washed it and used it.
Okay. That's fine. Can you put your space heater on? I can't put mine on.
Mm-hmm.
I had to unplug mine for the bright lights so that we could see what we're doing. Like, I'm cold and I actually have pants on. This is crazy. Alright, I feel like we need a little bit more of this maybe in here. Just to kind of fill that in. Yes. That is coming along pretty good. Okay. Now, I remember why we had this color. Now I remember why. Alright. Let's unfurl this one. Okay. I'm running out of places to put my floof. Alright, so let's see about starting to put in our floofy doos in the rest of the area. Alright, so we're just gonna kind of like wing this for the rest of the area. I mean, well, we've been kind of winging it for most of it, actually. So we'll start to work on our clouds up above here. See, I hope I'm not banging the camera too much. I hope it's not like bouncing. I don't think it is. Okay, so this will help to also make sure that all of our like our pinky floof up here is actually good and anchored in. Oof. That was definitely anchored to the pad. All right. We will work on this. Kind of funny, I can see where the fibers are anchored in one spot and then they're like shifting to another as we get them good and worked in there. Okay. Now we'll probably end up using some of this dark lavender color, I guess. Or like our dark color from in here up in the top, maybe a little bit. We'll see. Let's see what happens with that. All right. I'm gonna be sad to see my lighted flamingos go. But they're gonna have to return to the flamingo workshop, I guess, and go rest up for next year. I suppose. They've served us well in this past year, past month, 2 months? Month? Maybe month. We didn't get them up before Thanksgiving, so. The rest of the flamingo family will have to bid their ginormous light up flamingo gods of the season a fond farewell. Hi, Little. I think that was Little. Is it Little or Ed? I know it wasn't Cal, because he's in the other room. Or maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it wasn't a cat. Thought it was a cat. It sounded like a cat messing with my chair. Maybe not. The ghost of the cat. Getting this all worked in. Now this spot, or this part, will probably take a little bit. Bless you! Oh my goodness, bless you.
Oh, ow.
You alright?
Yeah. Oh,
Neck or back?
both. Oh.
Okay. So I think we'll finish up with this. Man, these cars are just so fucking loud. Doesn't help that half the people have like the jacked up trucks on the extra tall frames. Lots of compensating going on in this area. If you know what I mean. It kind of looks vaguely like an octopus. Vaguely. At least from the angle that I'm looking at him at. With the way the shadows are hitting as I'm getting him in there. Okay, so I'm still kind of trying to sort of follow the photo. Sort of. At least for approximate placement. You alright?
Yeah, just filled with phlegm.
Okay. Alright. So, let me put you over there. Just kind of doing a loose little floofy gathering. So the way these clouds are in here, it's kind of coming down the edge. So yeah, like I said, make sure you follow in all of the places. We have the Etsy store, the Kofi page, we have the YouTube channel. If you could sub over there, that would be great. And we have the and the Twitter. So we'll be doing WoW challenges Wednesday this week, and it'll either be Minecraft or Stardew Valley on Thursday. There's no stream this Friday. And I do apologize about that, but that's just not happening. Dentist appointment is at stream time anyhow. And then there will probably not be an art Sunday next week. I don't know if we're gonna have a bonus art Monday tomorrow. That depends on a lot of factors. Don't plan on it, but do keep an eye on Twitter in case that does happen. But I do think we are gonna be wrapping things up here today. And if we don't go live tomorrow, then we'll pick this up the following week once I am capable of talking for any lengthy period of time and have recovered from whatever's going to happen on Friday. If it's not too bad and I'm able to talk, then we'll do it on Sunday, but I'm not banking on that. So we made some decent progress. We've got our clouds starting to be worked in. I think I might still bring some of that darker mauve back into here a little bit. Maybe we'll see, or maybe we'll like throw this color in or something. But that's gonna do it for today. Thank you guys for popping in and keeping me company this afternoon. Greatly appreciate that. Thanks for all the likes, the follows, the retweets of the things. It does really help. And good luck with your challengers, challenge crew. Remember, we still need your challenge play resolutions for the new year. If you have any, please send those into the podcast email. And we look forward to seeing you back on the first podcast back this year. That will be on January 15th. The resolutions need to be sent in by January 13th in time to be read out on the show. So, thank you guys so much, and I will see you on Wednesday. Until then, have a good one.